belief. The belief of all these prophets was common. So what does separate us? It separates us is our own ego, our jealousy, our hatred, our self-imposedness upon others, our lust, our greed. This is what is dividing us. So why don't we come like human brothers? We were one. Our religion was one. Our faith was one. Our beliefs were one. And all these beliefs are contained in the Qur'an. Qur'an mentions about Adam alayhi salam. Qur'an mentions about Ibrahim alayhi salam. There is Surah Ibrahim. Quran mentions children of Israel. Bani Israel, there is a surah. Middle of the Quran, there is Surah Bani Israel. Children of Israel are praised in Quran. Here Allah is talking to the Bani Israel. Because this many following ayats, inshallah, will be about the children of Israel. Allah is reminding the people of Israel, the children of Israel or the Jews, the favors which Allah bestowed upon them. So you learn those favors, remind them those favors, remember those favors, and come back to accepting the final prophet as well. What the Jews have to do is, they have just to take 2 steps towards Muslims. They have to accept Jesus and then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I say, even if they don't accept Jesus in the first place, first accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then they'll automatically accept Jesus, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And we Muslims have walked those 2 steps towards the Jews. We have accepted Isa alayhi salam, we have accepted Musa alayhi salam. So we accept all the legacy of the prophets of the Jews. So what hinders them from accepting us? Why don't they accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What different religion did he bring? He has brought the same religion which Musa alayhi salam preached. He is rather fulfillment of Musa alayhi salam's prophecy. And Muslims have stretched one hand of friendship to the Christians. They have an unequivocally accepted Isa alayhi salam as the messenger of God. This is mentioned in the Bible as well. He never claimed to be God, and we accept him as messenger of God, son of man and a human prophet. And he is a spirit from Allah as well. We accept him. A word from Allah, created by the word of Allah, by his commandment. We accept about Isa alayhi salam. The greatest respect which is given to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is from the Muslims. So there is no hatred between Muslim and Christians. Why should Christians take Muslims as antagonists? We should, all the Christians have to do is just accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Add up one more prophet. The Jews have to add up Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as I have said previously as well, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's gate is the big gate. When you enter through that gate, then you find Isa alayhi salam there, the true Isa alayhi salam, Jesus. You find Musa alayhi salam there, the true Moses. You find Ibrahim alayhi salam, true Ibrahim alayhi salam. You find the whole totality of Islam there. You don't find any discrimination. You have historical differences, language differences, national differences. Children of Israel were Jews or a race or a community, or are still a community. Well, they can keep their community. Jewish, if they become Muslim, they are still Jewish by family, by race, by their descent, but they are Muslim by their faith. So basically, Jews, the religion of the Jews, or the Jewish religion, or the religion of the Israelites was Islam, submission to God, peace. So why don't we come back to that peace? So Qur'an is the message of peace. Islam is that peace, and Qur'an is the guidance towards that peace. So this is the road of peace. An'amta alayhim, those people who were blessed, we are treading on that road. We are going towards Allah, towards His pleasure, following in the footsteps of the prophets Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Moses, Dawud alayhi salam, Solomon, Isa alayhi salam, Zakaria alayhi salam, all the other prophets, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last one we follow, and the people will go on following them, and this is the straight path. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. This is the straight path which we have backed, and Allah is mentioning in detail the straight path. So Allah is mentioning an example of the children of Israel, that they were on the straight path, but where they deviated, Allah is pointing it out. You went wrong on there. You should not have now come back to the truth. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing back to their mind that you should not have changed those words. So people in the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they did not do that, but because they had taken that legacy, so Allah is reminding them through their ancestors that this is your history of obedience and disobedience. So you should now create a new history in the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Be obedient to Allah. Don't reject Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Muslims are the acceptors. They accept the prophets of Jews, especially Musa alayhi salam, and they also accept Isa alayhi salam. So they are not rejected. So there's no from the Muslim side. So who says no? The Christians say no, and the Jews say no. So the rift is from their side, not from our side. We Muslims are joining all the prophets, and the Christians and the Jews are dividing. So who is to be blamed for this rift? Not Muslims, Jews or Christians. But we don't blame. Blame is futile game, no use. We want to invite them to come back to the reality. Please study the message of Qur'an. Study the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he preached. Don't look at just the Muslims. As someone has said, Islam, some non-Muslim said, I think it was George Bernard Shaw or someone, that the best religion is Islam, but the worst community is Muslims. Well, the Muslims, the bad conduct of some of the Muslims should not deter you from accepting the true religion. You follow the religion, not the people, not the bad people, the good people. So there were bad people in the time of Musa alayhi salam and other prophets, Israelite people who changed the word, and Allah punished them. So Allah is mentioning, Allah is separating out from the rest of the community, that those people who changed the word, manipulated the word, twisted the word of which were told them to follow, they changed the word, so they were punished. And then Allah mentioned other events. Inshallah we'll carry on, but so far we have done up till ayat 59, and if time permits I can recite ayat 60 and we finish this segment inshallah. Allah says, وَإِذِ اسْتَسْقَى مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ فَقُلْ نَضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْحَجَرَ فَانْفَجَرَتْ مِنْهُ اثْنَتَا عَشْرَةَ عَيْنًا قَدْ عَلِمَ كُلُّ أُنَاسٍ مَشْرَبَهُمْ كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا مِنْ رِزْقِ اللَّهِ وَلَا تَعْثَوْا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ. Up till here we finished the ayat 60. Allah says, and remember, this is another event. When Musa alayhi salam asked for water for his people, and Allah says, we said, strike the stone with your stick. So that staff by which the sea was parted, you hit that to this stone, then gushed forth there from 12 springs. Each group of people knew its own place for water. So eat and drink of that which Allah has provided, and do not act corruptly, making mischief on this earth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the children of Israel, some people were told that don't create mischief on this earth, fasad, corruption on this earth. So Muslims are also reminded, don't create corruption. So any Muslim creating corruption, any non-Muslim creating corruption is to be denounced. You keep distance away, keep away from corruption. Don't corrupt the earth. The earth is given as an amanat, as a keepsake to you. You have to look after it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that at a time in the Sinai desert, when there was scanty water, was scant, no water there, then Musa alayhi salam was told to strike a stone. Now stone doesn't give water, but Allah gives water. He is the provider. And the stick by which the stone was struck, that doesn't do any miracles. It's Allah's power. So that stick, which was the shepherd's stick in the hand of Musa alayhi salam, was working miracles because it was in the hand of Musa alayhi salam, and he was appointed by Allah as a prophet. Even he was not performing miracles. Allah was showing his power through him. So that stick, if it was away from Musa alayhi salam, it wasn't performing any miracle. But when it came in the hand of Musa alayhi salam, it was performing miracle to show that Musa alayhi salam is a person chosen by Allah. He is authorized by Allah to perform miracles. So miracles are something which is actually manifestation of the power of Allah, not anyone else. So stick has no power, the Prophet had no power on his own to perform miracle, and the Holy Prophet Muhammad was asked to perform miracle. He said, no, I have no power except what Allah has given me. So he preached, and when he performed miracle, it was power of Allah showing through his practice. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ and other prophets, they performed miracles, but those miracles were the power of Allah working through the prophets. And many things did happen. So we don't worship those prophets, we don't worship those sticks or those things, we don't make them as objects of worship. We worship Allah alone. That's why if you see the only people who worship Allah alone are the Muslims, who have no object of any worship in front of them, blank walls and simple place. They face Kaaba. Again, I have explained, Kaaba is not object of worship, it's a direction. Like when the earth is round, when we are facing Kaaba, actually Kaaba is not in front of us, it's down at an angle. So we are making a gesture of unity around Kaaba to make one unity, because our God is one, and we followers of God, obedient to God, should also be one. And our Prophet is one, the last Prophet. We believe in all the prophets, but the last Prophet, the Prophet of the time, is one. And our book is one. All the previous books we all accept, but this is the final book. So we are one nation, we are one ummah, one community, and we have to learn from the history of Musa ﷺ's people, that when they were divided into 12 tribes, and those 12 tribes were always going through the sea in 12s, keeping to one's own tribe. And when it was coming the time of water, now they wanted water, but still there were not one spring, the 12 spring gushed for, and the 12 tribes knew, well, this is my spring, because they had an order as well. And if you see the books of Bible, they also show that they have their own signs, their own emblems, their own symbols, and their own different standards, you can say flags, and their own different attributes. So they were always going by their own tribe. So that tribalism is now finished. What Qur'an brought to the humanity is a revolution of going beyond the tribalism. Don't be adherent to your tribe, only do cooperate with good things. Ta'awanu 'alal birri wat taqwa. If your tribe or your people do good things, cooperate with them. If they do bad things, don't cooperate with it. This is the criteria. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that they were told again to eat and drink from what Allah has provided, but don't create fasad on this earth, corruption on this earth. So this is the main message, that if you want to uproot corruption, you have to sow down the seeds of creation, of love, of beauty, of peace. And this is what Islam. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.